Well, here is something to warm you up on this windy and chilly Wednesday. Crews were out at Holiday Park prepping the rink there for some holiday ice skating. And you can see the wind blowing that water as they sprayed it on the ice. Holiday Park, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, might be the place to go. Lindsay Monroe is here, and we already know that rink may not get covered in snow this weekend.
Yeah, rain, snow, wintry mix. We're kind of right on the cutoff. So this is just kicking off a stretch of what's going to be a pretty active weather pattern. And we know it's, the busiest travel time of the year. So
yes,
we want everyone to be prepared on what is to come weather-wise. And first, we've got to talk about that wind that is out there right now. We have seen wind gusts in excess of 50+ miles per hour across certain parts of the state. And I wanted to show you this video here. This is from the northwest side of town. Yes, we do have an incident I real quick wanted to hit on 65 southbound as you are approaching 865. But check out how much that camera is moving around. We're talking some pretty serious wind gusts out there. Also, to go along with that, we're tapping into some of this moisture in the cloud cover overhead. And we've got so much energy in the atmosphere that we're working with. It's pulling some of that moisture out and falling in the form of some scattered snow showers. And I think today is going to be one of those days where we could potentially see periodic snow globe type situations across the area. Not expecting snow accumulation, but if you do see some flurries flying around like what we've got across that I-74 corridor right now near Crawfordsville, that's certainly going to be a possibility. Here's what's going on. Area of low pressure traversing across the Great Lakes region right now, all of that moisture wrapping around the backside of that. So while most of that snow action is contained to the far northern tier of the state, we get those strong wind gusts that are wrapping around the south side of that area of low pressure. And that's also bringing in some much colder air. Our air temperature is down by 18 degrees from this time yesterday. So we're talking about the return of the cold, talking about these very strong wind gusts as well, with many spots reporting gusts in excess of 30 to 40 miles per hour right now. More on your Thanksgiving, much colder forecast and the road to a very busy weekend as well.
All right, thank you so much, Lindsay. And you can track all the weather changes on the live Doppler 13 weather app along with our weather team. Just download it and then set up notifications. That way you can stay informed as you go about your holiday plans. And this afternoon, a person is dead after a crash on Indy's southeast side. Metro Police tell us it happened around 10:45 last night on Southeastern Avenue. Police say that's where they found a two-car crash. They believe a Ford was going eastbound. That's when it hit a car turning left onto Southeastern. The passenger of one of the cars was taken to the hospital in critical condition. That person later died. The drivers were also taken to the hospital. Police do not believe impairment was a factor in the crash. And we're learning more about a police shooting in Franklin. Police tell us they shot and killed a wanted semi-truck driver after IMPD says he did not comply with orders to surrender. Alex Almanza was digging into the investigation, and it includes a search into who owns the truck.
Gives you a little shaky feeling, never seeing something like that and then watching it happen in front of your eyes.
Never in Franklin, Devin Gregg says, did he ever expect to see something like this.
You can see him just drop straight to the ground.
Gregg was there just after 1:30 Tuesday afternoon as officers from several districts attempted to arrest trucker Robert Beto in the parking lot of this trucking facility in the 1200 block of Mitsubishi Parkway in Franklin. Police say Beto didn't comply with orders, and after multiple attempts to de-escalate, he was shot and later died at a hospital. State police say a shotgun was later recovered near the suspect.
I think that speaks to the dangers that these officers were willing to put themselves there in protection of not just this community in this immediate area, but their home community in Indianapolis as well.
Police say Beto was wanted on a warrant and was also being tagged as a person of interest in a recent Indianapolis homicide case, though detectives didn't clarify which one specifically.
Still putting a lot of those pieces together, and there's still a lot of work to do in that case.
13 News did a search on the U.S. Department of Transportation number on the side of the truck. Records show the truck is registered under the business name FM Trans Inc. Now, when we tried to call the phone number associated with that business, someone picked up the phone and then hung up.
And no officers or community members were hurt in this incident. IMPD says officers involved will be placed on administrative duty, which is standard procedure with officer-involved shootings. And two Greenwood parents are now facing felony charges after a fight on a school bus. All of this started from an allegation of bullying. Court documents say those parents, 27-year-old Donquarius Ridley and 25-year-old Raven Barner, allegedly got on the school bus without permission. The Johnson County prosecutor says they started yelling at multiple students. While reviewing video footage, officers found out Barner told a child she was going to beat him up. She used profanity when she said it, too. That's when two kids started arguing with Barner. She then hit multiple students. While that is happening, court documents say Ridley is allegedly shown in the video throwing a child on the ground and having his son hit the kid. Now Ridley and Barner are facing multiple felony charges. Ridley has his first court appearance December 1st. Barner's is on December 4th. Redistricting back on the docket. House Speaker Todd Houston says the House will start the 2026 session Monday, despite a vote last week to start January 5th. He says they'll deal with legislative issues, including redistricting. Senate President Pro Tem Rod Bray says the Senate will make a decision on whatever the House sends them. And it's a move that House Democrats say is against the rules. House Minority Leader Phil Giaquinta says Speaker Houston should have consulted him and they would have had to vote on a date change for the session. Giaquinta did not explicitly say whether House Democrats would be there on Monday. But even if they do not show, he says it may not matter.
We are in the superminority, so we can't walk out and stop the proceedings. So now there are some, certainly there's probably some House Republicans that don't want to vote for this either. And, maybe they're the ones that shouldn't show up.
Speaker Houston says the House has the votes for redistricting. Senator Bray has said repeatedly the Senate does not. So we have more on the reaction from Governor Braun, plus how Democrats are responding. That's over on WTHR.com. And we have new details for a proposed data center in northern Indiana. We now know Amazon plans to build a $15 billion facility in Hobart. Hobart Mayor Josh Huddleston tells us they're finalizing the deal. That's near Gary. It's in Lake County, up on the northwestern part of the state. City officials tell us it will be added to a new technology park. The idea here is to put data center development into one dedicated zone. And he says they do want to address the community's concerns like water and utilities along the way. The deal still has to go through the Hobart City Council, the Plan Commission, and additional reviews. We've got in-depth breakdown about this plan on WTHR.com. Happening now. Runners are gearing up for the 23rd annual Drumstick Dash. That's kicking off tomorrow on Thanksgiving, but today is packet pickup for the participants. Our Samantha Johnson is at the Indiana State Fairgrounds with all the action leading up to the dash. Sam, it sounds like this is an exciting time. I'm not even sure if you can hear us with all the excitement.
I know, it is a party in here, to say the least. I'm here with thousands of my friends, Felicia, because tomorrow morning for the Drumstick Dash, we're expecting about 15,000 runners, walkers, and volunteers to make this event what it is. And this year, check it out, they brought out the hot pink shirts for all of the runners this year. It changes every year. This year, they went with the hot pink. And we know for so many families, it's a tradition, right? It's fun to come out and celebrate Thanksgiving Day, but it's also a reason to give back. The money raised from this race and this dash helps support Wheeler Mission. And I want to read you just a couple of my favorites on here. This one for a good workout, right? But also I dash to serve my homeless neighbors, to help others in my community. We have heard that time and time again this morning. I also want to show you someone I ran into this morning. This is Mike Davidson, the head track coach over at Ben Davis High School. If you know, you know. And one cool thing, Mike, you've done this all 23 years.
Yes, my buddy and I, John Barton, he's a hurdler. I was a sprinter at Butler, and once we started, we decided to do it 1 year, and it was a great tradition. And of course, move your feet so others can eat. The Wheeler Mission does a fantastic job of, I think 1 year it got up to 15,000 runners, I think. So it's just awesome to be a part of that. And we just love to be able to come out and support and start Thanksgiving off the right way every single year. So.
And is that what keeps you coming back, the mission behind it all?
I think so. I do a lot of 5Ks just to stay in shape, but I really enjoy going to 5Ks that have a purpose. And of course, this one's huge, you know. So it's awesome. We have an opportunity to be a part of it, and you know, it's one of those things that it became a great tradition of just getting up every morning, meeting, driving here together, and spending some time, you know. And the really neat thing is this year, my niece and her husband are going to run it.
Okay.
And so we're excited to get the family more involved in that type of thing. So
It's a family affair, and I got to tell you, for the 23rd race, we're going to have to bundle up because it's going to be cold. But Felicia, for all the folks who need to come down and pick up their packets still today, you have until about 6:30 here at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. We're going to have much more for you coming up tonight on 13 News. That race tomorrow morning, the Drumstick Dash, starts at 9 o'clock.
Yes, they made it convenient for you, so there's no excuse for you to miss this one. Thank you, Sam. We'll check in with you.